Imagine a ship gliding silently across the ocean, its sails filled by the wind, its deck strangely quiet. Now imagine boarding that ship and realizing not a single soul is on board. Even though dinner is laid out on the table, the crew's belongings are untouched and the lifeboats remain secured. But what if I told you this isn't the plot of a movie, but a real unsolved mystery that has haunted sailors, historians, and paranormal investigators for more than a century? This is the terrifying tale of a ghost ship. One that returned without its crew and left behind questions that no one has ever been able to answer. It begins in the year 1872 in the Atlantic Ocean. The ship was called the Mary Celeste, though some sailors preferred to call her cursed. She was a sturdy brigantine, built for long voyages, carrying valuable cargo across seas. But on this particular journey, her fate would turn her into legend. On November 7th, 1872, the Mary Celeste departed from New York, commanded by Captain Benjamin Briggs, a man known for his discipline, faith, and calm leadership. On board were his wife Sarah, their 2-year-old daughter Sophia, and 7 experienced crew members. They carried a cargo of industrial alcohol destined for Genoa, Italy. The trip was supposed to be routine, but nothing about this voyage would ever be routine again. Weeks later, on December 4th, another ship, the Dei Gratia, spotted the Mary Celeste drifting aimlessly near the Azores. At first glance, everything looked normal. The sails were partially set. The ship was in good condition, showing no signs of damage. But as the crew of the Dei Gratia approached, something felt wrong. No one was on deck. No signal flags. No crew members rushing to hail them. Just silence, as though the ship itself had been abandoned mid-breath. When they finally boarded, what they found sent chills down their spines. The entire crew had vanished, yet the ship wasn't wrecked. There was no evidence of violence, no sign of fire or storm damage. The lifeboat was missing, but why would the crew abandon a perfectly seaworthy ship in the middle of calm waters? Even stranger, the captain's logbook contained entries right up until 10 days before the discovery. The final entry was dated November 25th, placing the ship near the Azores, with nothing unusual reported. After that, silence. Inside the cabins, the crew's personal belongings were untouched. Clothes still folded, boots lined neatly, pipes and pocket watches left behind as though their owners planned to return. Even Captain Briggs's cabin looked normal, with his papers and charts in place. In the galley, food supplies were intact. In the hold, the cargo of alcohol was still secured, though a few barrels were later found empty, possibly due to leakage. Most chilling of all, meals appeared to have been prepared recently. It was as if the crew had been swallowed by the sea in an instant, leaving life frozen in time. But here's the twist nobody expected. The ship itself was in remarkably good condition. Other ghost ship stories often involve wreckage or signs of disaster, but not this one. The Mary Celeste was fully capable of sailing, drifting only because no one was guiding her. So why abandon her? Why vanish without warning? Some suggest piracy, but there was no sign of struggle, no blood, no missing valuables. The crew's possessions, even money, remained untouched. Pirates usually leave chaos in their wake, but here there was eerie order. Others suggested mutiny. Could the crew have risen against Captain Briggs, killing him and his family before escaping in the lifeboat? It's a chilling thought, but again, there's no evidence. No bloodstains, no damage, no indication of violence. And abandoning the sturdy Mary Celeste for a single small boat in the middle of the Atlantic would have been suicide. Another theory focuses on the cargo. 1,701 barrels of raw alcohol. Some believe fumes could have leaked from the barrels, causing panic. If the crew feared an explosion, they might have temporarily evacuated into the lifeboat, tethered to the ship only for the rope to snap, leaving them stranded as the Mary Celeste drifted away. It's plausible, but still, The final log showed no mention of such danger, and Captain Briggs was known for his calm judgment. Would he really evacuate his family into a small lifeboat unless it was life or death? And then there are the paranormal explanations. Some whisper that the Mary Celeste was cursed, doomed from the start. Sailors in the 19th century often spoke of ships with bad luck, vessels said to carry restless spirits. Others point to the fact that the Mary Celeste was found eerily intact, like something supernatural had lifted the crew off the deck, leaving the ship behind as a floating tomb. There are even stories of strange lights in the sky, unearthly whispers across the waves, and a creeping sense that the crew was taken by something beyond this world. But here's where the mystery deepens. When the Dei Gratia crew sailed the Mary Celeste into Gibraltar for salvage, a formal investigation was launched. Officials examined the ship carefully. They found no evidence of foul play, no damage that would force an evacuation. But the ship's log raised eyebrows. Some pages were missing. Had they been deliberately torn out to hide something, or were they lost at sea in the chaos? We may never know. The official inquiry failed to find a definitive answer. The crew was declared missing, presumed lost. The cargo was eventually delivered, but the questions remained, and the legend of the Mary Celeste grew. Over the years, theories multiplied. Some claimed seaquakes had rocked the ship, convincing the crew to flee. Others argued water entry from a broken pump could have tricked them into thinking the ship was sinking. Still others spun tales of giant sea monsters, alien abductions, or spectral hands rising from the deep. But none of these explanations satisfied everyone. Too many details refused to fit neatly into place. And the more people studied the Mary Celeste, the stranger her story became. The strangest detail of all is this. The Mary Celeste herself went on sailing for years afterward, under different captains and crews. Yet misfortune seemed to follow her. Groundings, accidents, mysterious deaths. It was as though she carried a shadow, a curse that no one could shake. Finally, in 1885, 13 years after she was found adrift, her last owner deliberately wrecked her off the coast of Haiti in a failed insurance fraud scheme. The ship that had haunted sailors for so long was gone, but her legend only grew stronger. Almost as if fate had decided her time on the seas was finished, yet her mystery would never die. So what really happened to Captain Briggs, his wife Sarah, their little daughter Sophia, and the 7 crewmen who set sail with them? Were they victims of some natural disaster, perhaps a sudden wave or an invisible seaquake? Did they panic in the face of leaking fumes and abandon ship too soon? Or did something far stranger happen, something that left no trace, no clue, no answer? Even today, no one knows for sure. Historians still debate, scientists still puzzle, storytellers still wonder, but the truth has never been found, and maybe it never will be. What we do know is that the Mary Celeste became more than just a vessel. She became a ghost, a floating question mark etched into history, a reminder that the ocean keeps its secrets close, and sometimes those secrets swallow lives whole. Sailors passing through the Azores still tell the tale. They imagine the Mary Celeste drifting endlessly, a ship crewed by silence, sails whispering with the voices of the lost. Some say on nights when the sea is unnaturally calm, you can hear footsteps on empty decks, or a child's laugh carried faintly by the wind. Others believe the crew walks still, not beneath the stars, but beneath the waves, bound forever to the ocean's deep embrace. And here's the part that chills the blood. A few accounts claim that long after the wreck, sailors swore they saw the Mary Celeste again. A phantom ship on the horizon, sails glowing faintly white, vanishing when approached. Could it be imagination? Or has her spirit truly never left the sea? What makes this mystery so terrifying is not just the unanswered questions, but the ordinary details that remain. Meals left uneaten, belongings left behind, a lifeboat lowered into calm water, never seen again. It's the human touches. The boots lined neatly, the toys of a toddler tucked away that remind us this was no legend, no ghost story invented around a fire. These were real people, and they vanished. The Mary Celeste dares us to imagine the impossible, to wonder how an entire crew, a family, could be erased in a single instant without a struggle, without a scream, without leaving behind even a single witness. And so the mystery lives on, whispered in books, taught in classrooms, debated by skeptics and believers alike. But the sea will never answer. When you stand on the shore and stare out at the endless blue, remember her. A ship that sailed into history, cursed by silence, immortalized by questions. Would you dare to step onto that deck, knowing its past? Would you sit at the captain's table where dinner was waiting for those who never returned? Would you sleep in the cabins where sailors vanished without a sound? Because the Mary Celeste is not just a story, it is a warning, a riddle written by the ocean itself. And maybe, just maybe, her crew is still out there, forever adrift, searching for a way home. But the real question is, if they ever found their way back, would they even be human anymore?